Long ago, before the mountains in the northern lands of Rwanda reached up to kiss the sky, the land was flat and peaceful. The earth was fertile, and the rivers flowed clear and strong. The people who lived there were simple farmers, tending to their fields of beans and sorghum, and they offered thanks to the spirits of the land, for the spirits were the ones who kept the earth in balance. The spirits lived deep within the earth, where they guarded the fires that kept the world alive. These fires were the lifeblood of the earth, bringing warmth and light and making the soil rich with life. The people knew this, and they respected the spirits, offering prayers and gifts in return for the blessings of the land. Among these spirits was Kimanuka, the great guardian of the earth's fire. Kimanuka was an ancient and powerful spirit who had lived beneath the earth since the dawn of time. His fiery form moved through the depths of the land, unseen by human eyes but felt in the warmth of the sun and the life that sprang from the ground. He was a wise and just spirit, but his anger could be fearsome, for the fire he guarded was both a gift and a danger. For many years, the people lived in peace, and the earth gave them everything they needed. But as time passed, there came a generation who forgot the ways of the old. They no longer offered thanks to the spirits of the land, and they began to take the earth's gifts for granted. The fields grew larger, the forests were cut down to make more room for crops, and the rivers were diverted to suit the people's needs. And as the balance of nature was disturbed, Kimanuka felt the earth tremble beneath him. One day, in the village at the foot of what is now the Virunga Mountains, there lived a young man named Gahaya. Gahaya was strong and ambitious, and unlike his elders, he did not believe in the old stories about the spirits who lived beneath the earth. He had heard the tales of Kimanuka and his fiery guardians, but he scoffed at them, thinking they were nothing more than legends told to frighten children. "The earth belongs to us," Gahaya would say. "Why should we fear what lies beneath? We should use the land as we please, for it is ours to command." His words spread through the village, and soon others began to listen. They stopped their offerings to the spirits, and under Gahaya's leadership, they cleared more and more land, digging deeper into the earth than ever before. They planted more crops than they could harvest, believing that the earth would continue to provide endlessly. But the earth began to grow tired, and the rivers, once full and bountiful, began to dry up. Deep beneath the ground, Kimanuka stirred. He could feel the disturbance in the balance of the earth, and he knew that the time had come to remind the people of the power that lay beneath their feet. He called upon the other spirits, who guarded the winds, the rain, and the mountains, and together they decided that the people needed to be taught a lesson. A lesson they would not soon forget. One night, as the village slept, the earth began to rumble. At first, it was a faint trembling, so soft that only the animals seemed to notice. But soon, the ground shook violently, and the villagers awoke in terror. The sky, once calm and clear, darkened with thick clouds, and a strange, fiery glow appeared on the horizon. Gahaya, who had been so confident in his mastery over the land, felt the ground shift beneath his feet. He ran outside, his heart pounding, and saw the earth crack open. From deep within the fissure, red-hot fire surged upward, and the smell of smoke filled the air. The villagers cried out, gathering in the center of the village, their faces pale with fear. As the ground opened wider, a great mountain began to rise from the earth. It grew taller and taller until it towered above the village, its peak glowing with molten lava. The people watched in horror as fire poured from the top of the mountain, and ash rained down from the sky, covering the fields in a blanket of black dust. Kimanuka, the fiery spirit, emerged from the heart of the mountain. His form was a massive, swirling figure of flame and smoke, his eyes glowing like embers in the night. His voice rumbled like thunder as he spoke, shaking the very air with his words. "You have forgotten the ways of your ancestors," Kimanuka boomed. "You have taken from the earth without giving back, and now you will witness the power that lies beneath. This mountain is a reminder that the earth is not yours to command. It is a living force, and it must be respected." The people fell to their knees, trembling in fear. They realized now the mistake they had made, but it was too late. The mountain had risen, and it would not go back into the earth. The fire continued to flow from its peak, burning everything in its path. Gahaya, who had led the village astray, stood before Kimanuka, his face pale with terror. "Great Spirit," he pleaded, "we were wrong. We did not understand the power of the earth. Please, spare us." Kimanuka looked down at the young man, his fiery form crackling with heat. "You will be spared," he said, "but the land will never be the same. These mountains will stand as a reminder of your folly, and you will live with the knowledge that you nearly destroyed the balance of the earth." With that, Kimanuka disappeared back into the mountain, and the ground stopped shaking. The fire that had poured from the mountain's peak slowed to a trickle, but the damage had been done. The once flat land was now dominated by towering volcanoes, their peaks still smoking with the memory of the earth's anger. The people returned to their village, humbled by the experience. They rebuilt their homes, but they never forgot the lesson that Kimanuka had taught them. From that day forward, they treated the land with respect, offering prayers and gifts to the spirits once more. They understood that the earth was not theirs to control, but a powerful force that must be honored and cherished. And so, the volcanoes remained, tall and silent, their peaks reaching up to the sky. The people of Rwanda came to see them not as a threat, but as guardians of the land, watching over them and reminding them of the balance that must always be maintained between humanity and nature. To this day, the Virunga Mountains stand as a testament to the power of the earth and the spirits who dwell within. And though the fires of Kimanuka no longer rage, the people still tell the story of how the mountains were born and the lesson they learned about the forces that shape the world.